Hey, sports card fans, it's John, Wade Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well. Have you ever gone to a card show with a particular goal in mind, whether it's finding that one special card, or maybe you have a short list of cards that you want to focus on? And as you go from table to table looking for those specific cards, you come across a card that you had no intention of looking for. One that catches your eye, grabs your attention, says, "Hello there, how about taking a look at me?" Well, that's exactly what happened to me at this year's National. Now, at last year's National, one of my goals was to pick up a big boy card, which was the 1954 Bowman Ted Williams. And fortunately, I was able to pick up a really nice example. But for this year's National, I had no intention on spending a lot of money on one particular card. I wanted to take my national budget and spread it as much as possible and check off as many boxes off of my 100 cards for $100,000 list, or even my 100 cards for $10,000 list. Well, at the end of the day, I came across this one card. I couldn't stop thinking about it. And fortunately, I was able to make what I thought was a good deal for it, and turned out to be a big boy card that I had no intention of going into the National and looking for, let alone picking one up. But I'm going to turn the camera around and show off this card, which happens to be the 55th card that I've picked up off of my 100 cards for $100,000 list, and show off some of the other cards I have of that player in my collection. So let's go check out the cards. Card number 55 is this gorgeous 1948 Bowman Stan Musial rookie card. When I saw this in the display case, I absolutely fell in love with it. The centering is almost perfect. There's no creases. The only thing it has is maybe some minor corner wear, and I loved this card. Now, what's interesting about this card is that I came across this on the Wednesday sneak peek, and historically, every single National up until this year, Wednesday and even part of Thursday, maybe even all day Thursday, I take the time to just scope the National out. Just see what's available, what's there, what cards I may be interested in, and I don't buy anything. So here I was seeing this card on the Wednesday, and again, not looking to buy a big boy card at all, and knowing that if I don't buy this and make a deal on it, it's probably going to be gone by the time I get around to convincing myself to buy it. The only thing that was against this card was the initial asking price that the dealer had on it. I'm going to turn the camera around here, or turn the card around here, so you can take a look at the back. Just nice and clean as well. No wax stains. Again, no creases. And he had it priced fairly aggressively. He had this card recently graded and thought it was going to get a particular grade, and it came in one grade lower than what he thought. But he had it priced in the range of the grade that he was expecting it to be in. And if you deal in vintage cards, you know that there is something as a centering tax. If you find a card that is, I don't want to say notoriously off-center, but is very common to find off-center, and you find a copy like this, you're going to pay up for it. And so in looking at the comps, of course, I didn't have anything written down, so I was looking up in VCP what the comps were for the grade that this was in, and it was priced very aggressive. But I thought that if I could get him down a little bit, I may have to overpay a little bit based on the comps that this card is graded in, but that I would be willing to do so because, again, I loved this card. Now, the dealer thought that it was going to grade a PSA 4. It actually came in at a PSA 3. And I own some PSA 3 cards in my collection, and I don't know if I have a nicer looking PSA 3 card. This one is just outstanding. I don't know. Again, this is why this card grabbed my attention. I just love the eye appeal of it. Love the image of a fairly young Stan Musial. And I'll get into the numbers in a minute here, and I'll sort of explain how I sort of justified spending what I did for this card. But before I do that, I want to show off some of my other Stan Musial cards in my collection. So the next one that I have is his 52 Bowman. Really like that card. Just love the colors in it. Then I have his 53 Bowman Color. Now this one was purchased way before I was obsessed with centering. Although with a lot of the 53 Bowman Colors, the other one I have is the Warren Spawn. That is off-center, but the way this is laid out, it's off-center top to bottom, but your eye is focused on that great image there of Stan Musial. Apologize for the glare there, but just a great-looking card, and honestly, I don't notice when I look at this card that it's really off-center top to bottom, so to me, this is a great-looking Stan Musial card. Next, I have his 58 All-Star. Picked that up, I think, at the either 2015 or 2019 National, one of the two. Love that smile. Then I have his 1960. And then finally his 1962. So with the 48 Bowman pickup, I'm halfway through the Stan Musial Basic PSA registry run. I'm missing, of course, his 49 Bowman, his 49 Leaf, his 59 Tops, 61 Tops, and 63 Tops. So 5 out of the 10 I have, and the 49 Leaf and 49 Bowman, they're going to be pretty expensive. But the 59, the 61, and 63, if I look for PSA 4 copies, that definitely won't break the bank. So, you know, at some point, I hope to be able to complete the Stan Musial run. All right, back to this gorgeous 48 Bowman Stan Musial. All right. Now, the dealer had a sticker price of $1,300 for this card. And that is in the range of a PSA 4. I was able to get him down to $1,150, and he wouldn't go any lower than that. So he took off a little bit more than 10%. And I'll show you here why I still thought that was a good deal. All right, so on my list of 100 cards for $100,000, I had the 48 Bowman Stan Musial in a PSA 4. And when I put the list together all the way back in 2021, I thought a PSA 4 would run me about $1,000. Well, this card has gone up since then. So again, I had listed $1,000 for a Stan Musial rookie card, and I spent $11.50. So I was $150 over what I thought I would have to spend, and I even dropped down a grade. But that doesn't bother me at all, and here's why. For a PSA 3, currently on the low end, they're going for $688. On average, $808, and on the high end, the recent high sale is $1,038. So I even spent more than that on the highest recent comp. But I'm gonna put up a couple pictures here of 3 recent, I think they were all auctions on eBay. I think they were all eBay auctions as well. The first one here is an auction card that sold in April of this year and sold for $990. So if you take a look at that card, I think mine has superior eye appeal over that card. The next one sold in January of 2024 and sold for $1,000. Again, I think mine has much nicer eye appeal than that copy. And finally, the recent high of $1,038, that card sold in February of this year. And again, the centering on that one, I just don't think has the same centering or overall eye appeal as this card. So given those 3 examples, basically 2 around $1,000 and one a little bit over $1,000, with not as nice of an eye appeal as this one here, I thought $11.50 was reasonable, very reasonable. So I'm happy with it, very happy with it. I can't believe I have this card as early as I was able to add it to my collection. I thought this card would be one that maybe in the next 5 years I'd get around to focusing and saving up money for a national and picking up. Never did I expect to come away not only picking this up on the first day of the national, when I rarely spend any money at all, and here I am shelling out over $1,000 for a card day one. Definitely put my national timeline out of kilter. And I talked about this in I think it was in my wrap-up video to the national. It actually turned out great. In fact, I'm probably going to be doing the same thing at nationals in the future. Is I'm not going to hold back on buying. If I see a card on Wednesday, Thursday, I'm going to pick it up. If I spend my money by Friday, which I did at this year's national, that just gives me some time to hang out with fellow collectors and joining them as they look for cards and just get to enjoy it rather than spending the entire time by myself, looking around, going from table to table, checking my notes, and trying to spend my national budget. So the stars aligned with this one. Saw it on the Wednesday, knew that if I hesitated and waited until Thursday or Friday, chances are this card would have been sold, and I am so happy to add this to my collection. So I talked about this particular card as it fits into my 100 cards for $100,000, but now that I have 55 cards, where do I stand? So for the 55 cards that I have picked up, I thought I would have to spend $14,500. Now again, I went over budget on this one, so my overall savings have gone down, but to date for those 55 cards I've only spent $11,340, so I'm still $3,160 to the good from what I thought I would have to spend for these 55 cards based on the grade that I had chosen for that list. And so again, I continue to be happy with my progress, and especially adding this card here the 1948 Bowman Stan Musial rookie card. So, would love to know in the comments what you think about this card here. Do you think I got a good deal? Do you think I overpaid? Would love to know that as well. And what your thoughts on my other Stan Musial cards that I have in my collection. And with that, that's all I have for you. So until next time, thanks for watching.